Once upon a time, there was a family of ducks, Mr. and Mrs. Quackers and their 5 little ducklings, Dilly, Dally, Doodle, Ducky, and Dale. They lived in a pond in a quiet corner of the park. One day, Mr. Quackers woke up with a terrible headache. "Oh, my head," he quacked. Mrs. Quackers, always the responsible one, said, "Let's go to drive, Mallard." So, they all waddled over to the other side of the park, where Drive Mallard had his office. On the way, Dilly and Dale started fighting over one. "That's mine," quacked Dilly. "No, it's mine," quacked Dale. Children, scolded Mrs. Quackers, "you can share it." When they finally reached Drive Mallard's office, there was a long line of various animals waiting in front of them. A rabbit with a cold, a squirrel with a broken tail, and a deer with a sprained ankle. "Oh dear," said Mrs. Quackers, "we're going to be here all day." But, to their surprise, Drive Mallard saw them right away. "What seems to be the problem?" he quacked. Mr. Quackers explained his headache, and Drive Mallard prescribed a week of rest and no swimming. "No swimming?" gasped the ducklings, but Mr. and Mrs. Quackers knew it was for the best. So, the family waddled back to their pond. Dilly and Dale grumbled, but the other ducklings soon made up a game of Quack Says, where they gave each other instructions like Quack Says, "Flap your wings," and Quack Says, "Turn around." It made them forget all about swimming. Every morning, Mrs. Quackers made breakfast for the family, and they all sat around the pond, talking about their plans for the day. Doodle wanted to explore the nearby creek, and Ducky hoped to find some new friends. But, there was one problem. Every time they sat down to eat, a greedy seagull named Steve would swoop down and try to steal their food. "Mine, mine, mine," he screeched. But, the Quackers family ducklings were clever. One day, they all pretended to be sleeping while Mrs. Quackers set out the breakfast in a new spot, far away from the water's edge. When Steve swooped down, they all jumped up and yelled, "Boo!" Steve flew away in a panic, and from then on, they enjoyed their breakfast in peace. Finally, the week of rest was over, and Mr. Quackers felt much better. "Let's all go for a swim," he quacked, and the whole family jumped into the pond. Dilly and Dale did somersaults, Doodle explored the creek, Ducky made a new friend, and Dale just floated lazily on his back. As the sun began to set, they all gathered on the bank, tired but happy. "What a great day," said Mrs. Quackers. "We're so lucky to have each other." And with that, they all quacked happily and fell asleep, dreaming of the adventures they would have tomorrow. The end.